Procrastination isn't a time management problem. It's an emotion regulation problem. If you've ever had a deadline looming but found yourself scrolling social media instead, if you've ever known exactly what you need to do but just can't make yourself do it, if you've ever felt like you're sabotaging your own success by putting things off until the last minute, then this video is for you. Today we are talking about why you procrastinate and, more importantly, the one thing that actually stops it. In this video, I'm going to reveal why procrastination is actually an emotional coping mechanism, not a laziness problem. I'll show you the 5 types of procrastination and which one you are. And I'll give you the one strategy that actually works to stop procrastinating. And it's not what you think. But here's what every productivity guru gets wrong. They tell you to use better time management, make better schedules, use the Pomodoro technique, and none of it works. Because procrastination isn't about time, it's about emotion. And until you address the emotional root cause, no productivity hack will ever work long term. I was a chronic procrastinator for years. I tried every system, every app, every technique. Nothing worked. Until I understood what procrastination actually is. And once I addressed the real cause, the procrastination dissolved. This framework has helped thousands of people finally stop procrastinating. And it will work for you too. Let me tell you about Kavya. She's a graduate student and she has a thesis due in 3 months. She knows she needs to work on it. She has the time. She has the resources. She has everything she needs. But every time she sits down to work on it, she suddenly remembers she needs to clean her room, or check her email, or reorganize her bookshelf, or watch just one YouTube video that turns into 3 hours. She hates herself for it. She calls herself lazy. She thinks there's something wrong with her. Why can't she just do the work? Then she started therapy. And her therapist asked her a question that changed everything. Kavya, what are you feeling right before you procrastinate? Kavya had never thought about it. She closed her eyes and went back to that moment. She's sitting at her desk. She opens her laptop. She looks at the blank document. And then, anxiety. Overwhelming anxiety. What if it's not good enough? What if my advisor hates it? What if I fail? What if I'm not smart enough to do this? And to escape that unbearable anxiety, her brain says, let's clean the room instead. That feels safer. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It's an emotional regulation strategy. When a task triggers uncomfortable emotions, anxiety, fear, overwhelm, shame, boredom, your brain seeks relief. And procrastination provides temporary relief. It's not that you're lazy, it's that you're avoiding emotional discomfort. The procrastination emotions. 1. Anxiety or fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough, fear of success, perfectionism. 2. But here's what's interesting. Not all procrastination is the same. There are actually 5 distinct types of procrastinators, and each type needs a different solution. Arjun and Priya are both procrastinators, but they're completely different. Arjun procrastinates because he's a perfectionist. He won't start until he has the perfect plan the perfect conditions, the perfect moment. And since perfection never comes, he never starts. Priya procrastinates because she's a dreamer. She loves starting projects. She has a million ideas, but she never finishes anything because she gets bored and moves on to the next shiny idea. Same problem, completely different causes, completely different solutions. You can't solve procrastination with a one size fits all approach. You need to identify your type and use the strategy that works for your specific pattern. Type 1, the perfectionist pattern. Won't start until conditions are perfect. Afraid of making mistakes. All or nothing thinking. Waits for inspiration or the right time. Root emotion. Fear of failure, fear of judgment. Solution: embrace good enough. Done is better than perfect. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Just start, don't worry about quality. Separate drafting from editing. First draft is always messy. Reframe failure. Every attempt is data, not a judgment of your worth. Mantra: progress over perfection. Type 2, the dreamer pattern. Loves starting, hates finishing. Gets bored easily. Jumps from project to project. Lots of ideas, little follow through. Root emotion: boredom, need for novelty. Solution: break tasks into smaller chunks so you get frequent completion hits. Gamify the process. Create rewards and challenges. Work in sprints. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Pair boring tasks with interesting ones. Listen to podcasts while doing tedious work. Mantra: finish before starting. Type 3, the avoider pattern. Avoids tasks that trigger anxiety. Distracts with easier, less important tasks. Feels paralyzed by big projects. Waits until the last minute, deadline pressure overrides anxiety. Root emotion: anxiety, overwhelm. Solution: break it down. Make the task so small it's not scary. Start with the easiest part, build momentum. Set a tiny goal. I'll just write one sentence. Address the fear directly. What's the worst that could happen? Mantra: start before you're ready. Type 4, the rebel pattern. Resents being told what to do. Procrastinates on tasks that feel obligatory. Works well on self-chosen projects. Struggles with external deadlines. Root emotion: resentment, loss of autonomy. Solution: reframe the task. Find personal meaning in it. Create choice within the task. I have to do this, but I can choose how or when. Connect it to your values. How does this serve what I care about? Set your own deadlines. Take back control. Mantra: I choose to do this. Type 5, the crisis maker pattern. Only works under pressure. Waits until the last minute. Thrives on adrenaline. Believes I work better under pressure. Root emotion: need for stimulation, possibly ADHD. Solution: create artificial urgency. Set earlier deadlines. Use body doubling. Work alongside someone else. Create external accountability. Tell someone your deadline. Address underlying ADHD. If this is you, consider getting evaluated. Mantra: I don't need crisis to create. The type identification quiz. Answer honestly. Do you wait for the perfect moment to start? Perfectionist. Do you start many things but finish few? Dreamer. Do you feel anxious when thinking about the task? Avoider. Do you resent tasks others assign you? Rebel. Do you only work well under deadline pressure? Crisis maker. The type specific action plan. Once you know your type, use your specific solution. Don't try strategies for other types. They won't work for you. Here's what's liberating about understanding your type. You're not doing procrastination wrong. You're just using the wrong strategy for your type. A perfectionist needs different tools than a dreamer. An avoider needs different tools than a rebel. Once you use the right tools for your type, procrastination becomes much easier to overcome. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. The one strategy that works for all types of procrastinators. After years of struggling with procrastination, I discovered something that changed everything. It wasn't a productivity app. It wasn't a time management system. It was something much simpler. I was procrastinating on writing a difficult email. I had been avoiding it for weeks. And I finally asked myself, what's the absolute smallest step I could take right now? Not write the email, that felt too big. But what's smaller? Open my email. That's it. Just open it. I could do that. So I opened my email. And then I thought, okay, what's the next smallest step? Type the recipient's name. Okay, I can do that. Then write hi name. Okay, done. And before I knew it, I had written the entire email. Not because I forced myself, but because I made each step so small that my brain couldn't find a reason to resist. The one thing that actually stops procrastination is making the first step absurdly small. Not small, absurdly small. So small it feels ridiculous. So small your brain can't resist it. Why this works? The brain resists big vague tasks. Write the report, overwhelming. Start the project, unclear. Clean the house, too much. The brain can't resist tiny specific actions. Open the document, easy. Write one sentence, doable. Pick up one item, ridiculous not to do. The method. Step 1. Identify the task you are avoiding. Example, write my thesis. Step 2. Break it down to the first action. Not the whole task, just the very first action. Open my laptop. Step 3. Make it even smaller. Is that still too big? Make it smaller. Walk to my desk. Step 4. Do that one tiny thing. Just that, nothing more. Step 5. Ask what's the next tiny step. Once you've done the first step, ask what's next. Open my laptop, done. Open the document, done. Read the last paragraph I wrote, done. Write one sentence, done. The absurdly small first steps. Examples. Task exercise. Absurdly small first step. Put on workout clothes. Next step, walk to the gym. Next step, do one push-up. Task, make a phone call. Absurdly small first step, pick up phone. Next step, open contacts. Next step, press call. Task, clean the house. Absurdly small first step, pick up one item. Next step, put it away. Next step, pick up another item. Task, start a business. Absurdly small first step, open a Google Doc. Next step, write one business idea. Next step, Research one competitor. The 2-minute rule variation. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. No planning, no scheduling, just do it. This prevents small tasks from piling up and becoming overwhelming. The momentum principle. Starting is the hardest part. Once you start, momentum takes over. Your brain shifts from I don't want to do this to I am already doing this, might as well continue. This is why the first step is so crucial. It's not about completing the task, it's about starting it. The procrastination interrupt script. When you notice yourself procrastinating, pause. I'm procrastinating right now. Identify the emotion. I'm feeling, acknowledge it. That makes sense. This task is ask, what's the absurdly small first step? Do it. Just that one tiny thing. Here's why this works when nothing else does. Your brain procrastinates because the task feels too big, too hard, too overwhelming. But your brain can't argue with just open the document. It's too small to resist. And once you start, you build momentum. You prove to yourself that you can do it, and often you end up doing much more than you planned. Not because you forced yourself, but because starting was the only hard part. But what if you could prevent procrastination before it even starts? After years of studying procrastination, I realized something. I procrastinate on certain types of tasks predictably. Big vague tasks, I'll procrastinate. Tasks with no deadline, I'll procrastinate. Tasks I don't want to do, I'll procrastinate. So I built a system that prevents procrastination before it happens, and it's been a game changer. The best way to stop procrastination is to design your life so you're less likely to procrastinate in the first place. This means setting up systems, environments, and structures that make procrastination harder and action easier. Prevention strategy 1. Make tasks specific and small. Vague tasks invite procrastination. Work on project, when, what part, how long. Specific tasks prevent procrastination. Write introduction paragraph for project 9 to 9:30 am at desk. The specificity formula. Every task should answer what exactly will I do, when exactly will I do it, where exactly will I do it, for how long will I do it. Prevention strategy 2. Create external accountability. Internal motivation is unreliable. External accountability works. Accountability methods. Tell someone your deadline. I'll send you the draft by Friday. Work with someone. Body doubling, working alongside someone. Post your goal publicly. Social pressure is powerful. Hire a coach or join a group. Financial and social commitment. Prevention strategy 3. Remove friction from starting. Make it easier to start than to procrastinate. Reduce friction. Prepare the night before. Lay out workout clothes, prep workspace. Use implementation intentions. When trigger, I will action. Eliminate distractions. Phone in another room, block websites. Create a starting ritual. Same music, same drink, same time. Example, when I sit at my desk at 9 am, trigger, I will open my document and write for 25 minutes. Action. Prevention strategy 4. Add friction to procrastination. Make procrastination harder than working. Add friction. Delete social media apps. Have to log in on browser. More steps. Use website blockers. Freedom, cold turkey, etc. Put phone in another room. Physical distance creates friction. Cancel streaming subscriptions. Can't binge if you don't have access. Prevention strategy 5. Design your environment. Your environment shapes your behavior. Environment design. Dedicated workspace. Brain associates space with work. Remove temptations. No TV in office, no snacks at desk. Visual cues. Post your goal where you'll see it. Optimize for focus. Good lighting, comfortable chair, minimal clutter. Prevention strategy 6. Schedule procrastination. Counterintuitive but effective. Schedule time to procrastinate. How it works. Work for 25 minutes. Focused, no distractions. Procrastinate for 5 minutes. Guilt-free scrolling. Repeat. This satisfies your brain's need for relief while maintaining productivity. The weekly procrastination prevention routine. Sunday evening. Review the week ahead. What tasks are coming? Identify procrastination risks. Which tasks will I want to avoid? Apply prevention strategies. Make them specific, create accountability, reduce friction. Schedule them. Put them in calendar with specific times. Daily. Morning. Identify the one task you're most likely to procrastinate on. Do that task first, before checking email, before anything else. Use the absurdly small first step method. Evening. Prepare for tomorrow. Set up workspace, remove distractions. Here's the truth. Willpower is overrated. You can't rely on motivation. You can't rely on discipline. What you can rely on is systems. When you design your life to make action easier and procrastination harder, you don't need willpower. You just need to follow the system. And the system works even when you don't feel like it. Let's bring this all together. Procrastination isn't a character flaw or a time management problem. It's an emotional regulation problem. We covered how procrastination is your brain's way of avoiding uncomfortable emotions. We identified the 5 types of procrastinators and which strategies work for each type. We learned the one thing that actually stops procrastination, making the first step absurdly small. And we built a procrastination prevention system that makes action easier and procrastination harder. But here's what I want you to really understand. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not lacking discipline. You're just human. Your brain is designed to avoid discomfort. That's not a flaw, that's biology. But you can work with your biology instead of against it. You can make tasks less emotionally threatening. You can make first steps so small your brain can't resist. You can design systems that support you. And when you do that, procrastination loses its power. So here's what I want you to do. Leave a comment and tell me what's one task you've been procrastinating on. And what's the absurdly small first step you could take right now? Because naming it is the first step to doing it. And if you're thinking, okay, I can stop procrastinating, but how do I actually build the discipline to keep going? I made a video specifically about that. It's called How to Build Discipline When You Have None. I'll link it right here. Because stopping procrastination is step 1. Building consistent action, that's step 2. Thanks for watching. Remember, you don't need to feel motivated to start. You just need to make the first step so small that you can't say no. Start there. Everything else follows.
In continuation of the age-old tradition of the wisdom of India, To join the Alchemy program conducted by Guru Mitra Shiva, kindly register or call 96559 92559. Visit our website www.matangifoundation.org. Guru Mitra Shiva's Alchemy classes are conducted in Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai, Trichy, Salem, Pondicherry, Bengaluru and London.